Hello everyone. So there are a few new questions which are coming in SSC 2025 examination, and one of the important topics that we have is quartiles. Okay, quartiles. We call this quartiles. So there are five or six important formulas in this which you need to remember. The formulas are for first quartile, second quartile, third quartile, then about interquartile range and about quartile deviation. So these are the five, six different formulas which you need to remember. So first of all, I'll be telling you what quartile actually means. So quartile is something that if you have a given data set, let's say that there are 10 students. Okay, let's say there are 10, or let's call it 12 students. There are 12 students and you have to divide this data set into four equal parts. Okay, quarter one, you have quarter two, you have quarter three, and you have quarter four. When there is an equal division, or you create an equal division between these, and henceforward you talk about the first, second, and the third quartile, that portion, or this particular q1, q2, q3, and q4, these are called quartiles. Okay, so let's assume that there is a small data of I have already talked about 12 students. Let's call it a 16 student data, and all of them have scored marks in some range. Okay, let's start from 0, and they have gone till 100, and there are 100 students in it. So let's say the first one has scored 40, the second one has scored mm, let's call it 75, then 80, somebody has scored 50 as well, somebody has scored 60, somebody has scored 30. Here somebody has scored 85, somebody has scored 90. Here somebody has scored 65, 68, 70. Yeah, and somebody has scored 71, 72, 73, and 74. There's one left. Let's call it 62. So these are the scores between of one entire classroom of 16 students. Now, using the formulas, they would ask you what is the first quartile. So the first quartile is n plus 1 by fourth term. N plus 1 by fourth term. Secondly, what is the second quartile? The second quartile says 2n plus 1 by fourth term. The third quartile means 3n plus 1 by fourth term. And the further formulas of interquartile range, which are q3 minus q1. q3 is here, q1 is here. Talking about quartile deviation, the quartile deviation is measured as q3 minus q1 whole upon 2, or simply interquartile range divided by 2. Then coefficient of quartile division, coefficient of quartile division needs to be found out. At that point, we will be using q3 minus q1 divided by q3 plus q1. Okay, there is a special way of finding out n plus 1 by fourth term. Let's say there are 16 students, right? There are 16 total terms or 16 students. So 16 plus 1, 16 plus 1 is 17. Now 17 upon 4. Find out this value in terms of a proper decimal or a proper fraction, which means 4 plus 1 fourth, or the fourth term plus 1 fourth term ahead. This means the fourth term plus 1 fourth term ahead. Then you start counting which term we are talking about. 30 is the first term, 40 is the second term, 50 is the third term, 60 is the fourth term. So I have found out my fourth term. Now I need to go ahead 1/4 time. It means when my fourth term is 60, I need to go ahead 1/4 time. Now 1/4 time, that particular journey of 1/4 time needs to be traveled between 60 and 62. Okay, between the fourth and the fifth term, there needs to be a traveling of 1/4 distance. What is the distance between 62 and 60? Or simply, what is the difference between 62 minus 60? This difference is equal to 2. You have to multiply it by 1 by 4. So 60 plus 2 by 4, which is equal to 1 by 2, or the answer is 60.5. In a very similar fashion for Q2, 2n plus 1th term, 2n plus 1 by 4th term. When I say 2n plus 1, I mean 2 into 17 by 4. When I do this, I get the value as 8.5th term. So what is the 8th term? 65 is the 6th term, 68 is the 7th term, 70th is the 8th term. So 8.5th term, 8.5th term. The 8th term is 70, plus you have to go half more ahead, and half distance has to be traveled between the 8th and the ninth term. Half distance has to be traveled between the 8th and the ninth term, right? This particular distance of between 8th and the ninth term is 1, and 1 upon 2 needs to be traveled. That means 1 would be multiplied by half. This would give me the answer as 70.5. So this is how things are going to progress further. Okay, I have taught you the entire concept here. You have all the formulas over here available very well, right? You have all the formulas available with you over here. So now, so I hope everybody is with me on the same page when we talk about quartiles. Okay, now I'll be taking you to the real world. Now these are a few practical uses of quartiles. See, what usually happens is the entire result or the entire situation is divided into four parts, and then a benchmarking, grading, or identification of good performing, bad performing, whatever such students are made. In business and sales, I have written proper examples. Okay, I've given you proper examples here as well as on the next page. Okay, so you can read through all of this, and I'll be taking you to the questions directly now. Okay, the ages in years of 10 participants in a workshop are this: find Q1, Q2, Q3, IQR, quartile deviation, and coefficient of quartile deviation. Let me take you back to the formula once again. Okay, these are the formulas. In the first quartile, there is nothing in the coefficient side. In the second quartile, there is 2. In the third quartile, there is 3. So you have to remember the formulas like this: n plus 1 by 4. Why does 4 come? Because we are talking about quartiles, means 1 by 4. Okay. Now, firstly, we'll be writing down all the terms in ascending order. That is the very first thing that you have to do. So 22 seems to be the least term. 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 38, 39, 40, 42, 45, and 50. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These are 10 terms. They are talking about 10 participants. Okay, so we are right till now. We have to find out all the options which I am talking about, which we have given. I'll leave, there are 3 questions which we'll be practicing. So this is the first one here. This is the second one here. This is the second one here. And this is the third one here. Okay, I'll be leaving the third one to you, and I need to know the correct answer for question number 3. Going back to the first question now, 10 of them have been written in the ascending order. Let's quickly find out Q1. Q1 is nothing but n plus 1 by 4th term. When I say n plus 1, I mean to say 11, 10 plus 1, 11, 11 by 4. This means 2.75th term. When I say 2.75th term, I mean to talk about 1, 2, and 3/4 of the gap between 25 and 28. So the second term plus 3 by 4 of the gap between the next two terms. The second term is 25 plus 3 by 4 of the gap between 25 and 28. The gap between 25 and 28 is 3. So I'll quietly multiply it by 3. 3 3s are 9. 9 by 4 is 2.25. So here 2.25 plus 25 gives me 27.25, and this value is equal to Q1. Okay, I have found out Q1 for you. Now I'll be finding out Q2 for you. Q2, for Q2 it's going to be 2 times n plus 1 whole by 4th term. So this basically means 11 into 2 is 22. This is 22 by 4, which gives me 10.5th term. No, sorry, 5.5th term. 5.5th term. This means the fifth term first. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5. The fifth term first, which is 35, plus half of the gap between the fifth and the sixth term. The gap between the fifth and the sixth term is 38 minus 35. It is 38 minus 35, which means 38 minus 35 is 3. So 38 minus 35 is 3. So 3 by 2 is 1.5. This becomes 36.5. This is the value of Q2. Now, talking about Q3. Talking about Q3. In Q3, it's going to be 3 times n plus 1 whole by fourth term. This would become 33 by 4. This would become 33 by 4. 33 by 4 means the 8.25 or 8.25th term, which also means the 8th term plus 1/4 of the gap between the 8th and the ninth term. 1/4 between the gap of the 8th and the ninth term. This is the 7th term. This is the 8th term. 8th term means 42, and the gap that we have is equal to 3 into 1 over 4. This would give me the answer as 42.75 as Q3. So I have Q1, Q2 and Q3, right? I have Q1, Q2 and Q3 with me. Now all the upcoming questions are going to be in the same sequence, right? All the upcoming questions are going to be in the same sequence. I'll take you to the question first. So this one now, talking about the other two formulas which we need to find out, or the other 3 points which we need to cover, are the interquartile range, the quartile deviation, and the coefficient of quartile deviation. Okay, first for interquartile range, I'll call it IQR. This is equal to Q3 minus Q1. This is equal to Q3 minus Q1. Q3 minus Q1 is 42.75 minus 27.25. 42.75 minus 27.25. 27.25. This answer comes out to be 15.50. This is Q3 minus Q1. Talking about quartile deviation, it is nothing but Q3 minus Q1 by 2. I'm going to switch between the slides. The reason is very clear. Q3 minus Q1 whole upon 2, because you'll have to remember the formulas. The Q3 minus Q1 is already here with us, which is 15.50 divided by 2, which is going to be nothing but 7.75 units. Okay, this is going to be nothing but 7.75 units. This is quartile deviation. Now talking about the third formula, the coefficient of quartile deviation, which is Q3 minus Q1 whole upon Q3 plus Q1. Q3 minus Q1 whole upon Q3 plus Q1. We already have Q3 minus Q1 as 15.50 and whole upon Q3 plus Q1. Q3 plus Q1 is 42.75 whole upon 27.25. So this is going to be 42.75 plus 27.25. This is 42 plus 27. 42 plus 27. This gives me 15.50 whole divided by, this is going to be a 0 here, right? And 4, 2, 6 and 7. So 15.50 upon 70. When you cancel things out from here, you'll get somewhat, what, 2% something. So 2 something would be the answer. No, not even 2, 0.2. So 0.2 and a few more decimals ahead of it. So this is how we have solved all the options here. Okay, this is IQR, this is quartile deviation, and this is coefficient of quartile deviation. Okay, coefficient of quartile deviation. Now we'll be moving to the next problem. This is a very similar problem. I'll give you, let's say, 10-20 seconds or maybe even a minute to solve this. Now we'll be solving the second problem. We'll be solving the second problem that's here. Given the following marks of 100 students in a quiz, out of 100 students, out of 100 scored by students in a quiz. They are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, there are a total of 8 students, and these are the marks which are given to us. Okay, so let us start from the lowest one. The lowest seems to be 52, isn't it? It is. Okay, 52. Then we have 55, we have 58, we have 60, we have 70, we have 75, we have 80, and we have 85. Okay, this is the ascending order which we are supposed to handle. We are supposed to convert this into an ascending order series, and this has 8 terms, and there were 8 terms in the question. Quickly starting off with Q1. Q1 says that n plus 1 by 4th term is going to be the answer. So what is n? N is 8. That is the total number of terms. 8 plus 1 is equal to 9. 9 by 4 stands for 2.25th term. That means the second term plus 1/4 of the gap between the second and the third term. So this is, I'll change the pen color quickly. Yeah. So this is the first one, second one, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth. So between the second and the third term, there is a gap of 3. Okay, there is a gap of 3. So I would write the second term here, 55. I need a brighter pen. I need a brighter pen. So I would have 55 here, 55, 55 plus 1/4 of the gap. The gap between 55 and 58 is nothing but 3. So it would become 0.75. So my answer is nothing but 55.75. And this is equal to Q1. We've achieved Q1. Now we'll move to Q2. Q2 says that 2 times of n plus 1 by 4th term is going to be my answer. N plus 1 is equal to 9. 9 into 2 is 18, or 9 by 2 is 4.5. So 4.5th term is going to be my answer. That means the 4th term plus half term of the gap between the 4th and the 5th term. The 4th term we have is 60, and the 5th term we have is 70. So the 4th term as it is, which is equal to 60, plus the upcoming term, which is like the gap is 10. 70 minus 60 is 10. 10 upon 2 is going to be 5. So 65 is going to be my value of Q2. Talking about Q3, I'm solving all the variables. Okay, I'm solving out the answer for all the questions only and only for you guys. 3 times of n plus 1 in whole upon 4th term. Okay, so n plus 1 is nothing but n plus 1 is nothing but 9. 9 into 3 is 27, and 27 over 4 gives me 6.75. So 6.75th term is what we're looking for, which means the 6th term plus 3 by 4, because 3 by 4 calculates to 7 by 2.75. So 3 by 4th of the gap between the 6th and the 7th term. The 6th term that we are looking for is 75, right? 75 is the 6th term that we are looking for. Plus the gap between 75-80 is that of 5. So 5 into 3 by 4. 5 3 is a 15. 15 over 4. 4 3 is a 12. 12, yeah, 3.75, right? Yeah, 15 by 4. We're talking about 15 by 4. 4 3 is a 12, and 3.75 is what we're looking for. So it's going to become 78.75. This is my Q3. The only tough things in these questions, which is Q1, Q2, and Q3 of quartiles, is going to be this. Is going to be the point where you find out Q1, Q2, and Q3. Rest everything seems to seems to fall in place. Okay, seems to fall in place. Moving forward, we need to find out the IQR, the interquartile uh, ratio. No, what is it? It's in the interquartile range. We need to find out the IQR, the QD, that is a quartile deviation, and finally the coefficient of quartile deviation. I'm coming back here to make you revise the formulas all the time. Okay, I'm coming back here to help you revise the formulas all the time. So it's Q3 minus Q1, Q3 minus Q1 by 2, and Q3 minus Q1 whole upon Q3 plus Q1. Okay, going back to the question, here we are, and we don't have space here, so we'll be moving to the next page. Now, talking about IQR, interquartile range. Interquartile range is called Q3 minus Q1. I will have to pick up the values from here. Q3 was 78.75 and Q1 was 55.75. Okay, 78.75 minus 55.75. Let me go back and confirm. 78.75, 55.75. So the gap over here that I can see is that of what, 3 and another 2. Yeah, so 23 is the value of IQR that we are looking for quartile division. Quartile division is nothing but IQR divided by 2, which is 23 over 2, or simply 11.5. Further, the coefficient of quartile deviations coefficient here, that would be Q3 minus Q1 whole upon Q3 plus Q1. Q3 minus Q1 whole upon Q3 plus Q1. Now Q3 minus Q1 is going to be 23. Q3 plus Q1 is something which I'll have to add these two terms. 0.5 and 0.75 and 0.75 give me a 1.5. So 0.5 would come here in the end. And then 5 plus 8 is 13. 13 is 1, 14. 14 would come here. 7 plus 5 is 12. 12 plus 1 is 13. So 23 whole upon 134.5. If I try to figure this out, 23 or let's say 20, 27s are 14. So this must be landing somewhere in the range of 0.6 and something. Okay, so 0.6 something is going to be your answer. I'm pretty sure that coefficient of quartile deviation would definitely come as a question in your exam. Okay, so now this is a problem which has to be, it's basically a homework problem. I would be writing down the answers right here so that you don't have to run away or you don't have to rush to different places to confirm your answer or even go to the comment section. Okay, so the value of Q1 is equal to 39. I'm giving you the answer straight away. The value of Q2 is equal to 50. The value of Q3 is equal to 62.5. The value of IQR, is 23.5. That is pretty evident from Q3 minus Q1. The value of QD is 23.5 by 2, which is nothing but 11.75. And the value of coefficient of QD is nothing but 0.2316. Okay, it depends on the examiner, it depends on the examination. If you actually have to go till 4 decimal places, but if you have to go, then we can't do much about it. You have to go there. Okay, it's okay, it's not a tough thing. Once you start achieving the first 2 digits, you start to strike off or you start to eliminate the options which are not in your favor. So do not be afraid of this. Moving back to the first page, you need not understand. If you really want to learn about the practical uses of quartiles, you may read about it over here in the 2 slides, but this is the most important slides sorry, this is the most important slide which houses all the formulas. Okay, if you can't understand anything, do comment, we'll help you in a better way. And if you just need to do a quick revision session, then you can just take a print out of the slide or write things down which are written over here. All right, thank you.